Hello, I'm Chris, and this is part of my group speech concerning the Mosaic Youth Theater. If you ever notice, there's a terrible epidemic taking place in the city of Detroit. It's spreading faster than ever, and if we don't contain this infectious disease, it might be too late. So it's time to unite as a community and face this adversity head on. Have you ever heard the famous quote, United we stand, divided we fall? Well, this is a very simple concept that can be applied to the city of Detroit. See, it's not literally an infectious disease, but it's more of a metaphor for what's going on in our public schooling system. There's a lack of funding, if you hadn't noticed. It's actually pretty obvious, focusing specifically on our performing arts programs. These programs are very, very beneficial for kids growing up, and trust me, I know because I went to a performing arts school and I know how it changed my life, and it's like a character builder when you find something that you're so passionate about and you can do that every day. Fortunate for me, money was never an issue at the school I went to. They could afford to buy instruments, the art supplies, um, you know, microphones for the vocal class. They provided us with a lot, so it was never really a money issue. But I can only imagine how hard something like that can be for a student who's passionate about something and denied that opportunity because there just isn't enough money. It's pretty sad. But on the other hand, there is an outlet, nonprofit organization specifically focusing on the Mosaic Youth Theater. It's like a security blanket for kids that cannot afford the the necessary utensils or art supplies or whatever to do what they're passionate about. So these nonprofit organizations are like a security blanket, and it's very meaningful for kids. It shouldn't. There's no reason that they should be denied these opportunities. According to this article written by Erin Mazzoni, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, in the article titled The Positive Effects of Extracurricular Activities, when students perform these things correctly, they are rewarded for their good behavior and they take pride in their accomplishments. Because of their pride they achieve, they gain better self respect, self esteem, and self confidence. So, with all these positive outcomes, why wouldn't we do what we can to help these kids out? So I have a very exciting plan, a fundraiser plan actually. It's pretty exciting. We are going to throw a fundraising concert. Very simple concept, can have a really positive outcome in the end. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to this to the nonprofit organization, the Mosaic Youth Theater, and we're gonna get all these kids together who are excited to present their talent and skills to the world basically, and we are going to get them organized because you have to keep it organized if it's going to be a fundraising concert. We're going to make sure we're going to have an entire plan set out of who's going to perform what, when, and where. And that's the first step. Next, we have to find a venue. That is very important. I would recommend Belle Isle because it's a well known park that everybody knows. It's pretty big and it's local. Now we have to focus on the publicity aspect. And publicity is very, very key if you want to raise money. So this is what I suggest. Go to the nonprofit organization and we have all the kids make their own signs. It'd be pretty exciting. It would show their talent and they enjoy doing it, and it's a way of publicity. All these people are going to see how talented these kids are through their signs. Next, we are going to use social networking. Ironically, we live in a time where social media takes over our lives, so it's very easy to use social networking as a marketing tool. Everything travels so fast over the internet that it's easy. Just and also, Detroit has a lot of very popular radio stations. You could give them a phone call, maybe ask if they would shout it out. That gets all the publicity out there. Next, we have to get tickets. Sell the tickets in advance. You never want to wait until the day of and sell the tickets at the door. It's not a good idea. If you've ever gone to a concert, you've never bought the ticket the day of most of the time. You normally buy them way in advance because that's how they get their money. So sell your tickets in advance. I would recommend a price between $5 and $10, but it's whatever you want to do basically. And if you're feeling brave, you could go to some local restaurants, ask if they would provide some catering and food services, and they would get a small dollar amount out of the total profit, but nothing too much because this is about making money to provide for these kids. So upon all that, you would throw the concert, you would charge the fees. I think it would be a good idea. A lot of people will probably have a lot of fun, and these kids get to do what they're passionate about, and that's the most important thing out of this entire nonprofit organization concert fundraiser. It would be really good for the kids and the community. So, after all the money is raised, you could either buy instruments and donate them to local schools, or you could just, the nonprofit organization can buy instruments for the nonprofit organization so these kids can come there and express themselves and be creative. And it would just be a great outlet, and it would keep these kids from out of trouble. And it's just good for the community as a whole. It's good for kids. It's a character builder early on in their youth years. So I think it would be a good idea. And with that being said, this is the end of my speech. I hope you enjoyed it.